A major trade has been agreed to, and the Buffalo Sabres have taken their home run cut. They're going for it this trade deadline because they are trying to seize this opportunity. They haven't been in the playoffs in a very long time, almost a decade and a half, and this is their move. And they may not be done just yet, so we'll break that down and much more coming up on this episode of Answer the Call with Peter Vryonis. Welcome in, everybody, to Answer the Call. The trade deadline is just a couple of days away, which is why I have been so heavily involved in the hockey content. So much to go over, so many rumors, so many deals that are essentially agreed to, but awaiting player approval. So we'll get into all of the news and much more coming up on this episode of Answer the Call. But if you're enjoying all the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button because your support has been unbelievable. Just a few days into this channel and we're already in such a great spot. So thank you all so much for your support, and let's not stop it right there. Hit that subscribe button, but let's get straight into it, guys. And Colton Parayko is a name that we have circled on our radars for quite a few days now, and the Blues have made it clear that they did want to move in a different direction. So Colton Parayko is headed to the Buffalo Sabres per Darren Dreger. Radim Mrtka and a first-round pick is a part of the package headed the other way. So we'll get into Mrtka in a little bit, but this is a pretty big swing that the Buffalo Sabres are taking right now. However, the holdup at the moment is that Colton Parayko has not yet agreed to the trade. I would be a little bit surprised if he were to waive for Buffalo. So waive is no trade clause. And that was from Andy Strickland, who joined Kuiper and Bourne on Sportsnet 590, The Fan. Now, Andy Strickland is saying, I'm getting a text right now saying that the reporting on Parayko to Buffalo is premature. This is from sources close to Colton Parayko. And adds that he would be surprised if Parayko were to agree to the deal. Now, this is a little bit surprising to me, but at the same time, you got to keep in mind that Parayko has 4 more years after this one at $6.5 million cap hit. So there's no retention from St. Louis by everything that I'm reading. And it's essentially going to be the end, or it'll take Parayko to the end of his career. So maybe he's looking at Buffalo and saying, okay, this could be a 1-year, one-off type of thing. Maybe I don't want to be a part of that going forward. But as for this season, I think Buffalo has as good a chance as anybody in the Eastern Conference to actually go out there and represent the conference in the Stanley Cup Final. They are so good and have been playing such amazing hockey since Jarmo Kekalainen took over as the general manager. And this is his big swing. Radim Mrtka and a first-round pick is not a cheap package. On the contrary, I feel like that's way too steep of a price for Parayko. But at the same time, Kekalainen is rewarding his players for the way that they have played since he came in and took over as the GM. And I like that. I'm all for keeping prospects, and I'm all for having guys remain in the organization, especially if they're top 10 draft picks like Radim Mrtka is. But at some point, when you have the pieces in place, when your team is humming, and when everything seems to be going in the right direction, you have to take that risk. You have to take that gamble. Can Mrtka have a better career than Colton Parayko? Maybe. It's possible. He's a top 10 pick, drafted 9th overall. Similar profiles as well. I mean, Mrtka's 6'6", 218 pounds. And he's only 18 years old. But the truth is, he's just not ready at the moment to contribute to something special in Buffalo. Whereas Colton Parayko, who's a Stanley Cup champion, who is someone who has slowed down a step, but is exactly what Buffalo needs, I think it makes sense. This is a win-win trade. It allows Buffalo to remain more competitive right now and in the next 3 or 4 seasons. And then it also allows St. Louis to restock their cupboards a little bit more and get rid of an asset that may be on the decline here, but is still pretty valuable. So I like this trade. And for all you saying, oh, you hope that it gets overturned for the Buffalo sake of things, why? What is Radim Mrtka doing for the Buffalo Sabres right now, who, may I remind you, sit in second place in the Atlantic Division? What is he contributing to them right now? I'll pause and I'll let you answer. Oh yeah, that's right, nothing. He's not contributing anything to this current iteration of the Buffalo Sabres. So what's the reservation here? Sure, he might turn into a great player. He might turn out to be the best player of the deal. Heck, the first round pick might even turn out to be the best part of that deal. But that is the risk that you take when you make a trade in the National Hockey League, or in the NBA, or in the NFL, or in Major League Baseball. That is the risk that you are taking. And I think this is the perfect moment for the Buffalo Sabres to go all in. We heard the Robert Thomas chatter. We heard that was close to materializing before Buffalo got cold feet. They didn't get cold feet this time around. They're going for it. And if you take a look at what Parayko has done over the last few seasons, logs big minutes. He's got a pretty good shot from the point. He played for Team Canada at the Olympics. Now, granted, you could argue that was because Doug Armstrong, his general manager right now at the time, was leading Team Canada into that tournament. So you can make a case for him being there and him not being there, whatever, that's fine. But the truth is he was there with those elite players. And he still is a pretty damn good player in his own right. So Colton Parayko, I like this move. Now the ball's in his court. Does he want to go to Buffalo? Does he want to be a part of whatever it is that they're cooking over there? And in my opinion, from the outside looking in as a Montreal Canadiens fan, whatever Buffalo is doing this season seems pretty special. And I would want to be a part of that if I'm a player that is rumored to be on the trade market and rumored to actually be going to that team. I would want to be a part of what Buffalo has going on right now. So I would be, Andy Strickland here saying that he would be surprised if Parayko were to waive his no trade for Buffalo. Really? I don't know, man. This is a really good team that has been playing almost better than anybody over the last few months of the season. If you don't want to be a part of that, I think that tells me a lot about you as opposed to what the team's approach is. Now, we saw the rumored package for Robert Thomas. It was Owen Power plus Consta Hellenius. Jack Quinn was in there, a first-round pick. That's a lot to pay. But you could also make the case that Buffalo sort of needs that Robert Thomas player. They also needed a Colton Parayko level player too. Someone who's big, physical, right-hand shot. They didn't have many of those. And if you take a look at their blue line right now, Bone Byram is like the shortest guy on that unit. He's 6'2". They have a big blue line. Real big blue line. And they're led by Rasmus Dahlin, who I believe is one of the top 10, maybe even top 5 defensemen in the National Hockey League. That's how good he is, and that's how good he's been playing. Owen Power taking strides. I love Bo Byram. I think I've always been a big fan of his game. And adding Colton Parayko to that mix with a lot of smooth skating defensemen, with a lot of puck-moving defensemen, I think it's a stroke of genius by Jarmo Kekalainen. Now, again, it's up to Parayko if he wants to be a part of this. But how could you not want to do this? This is my pitch to Parayko right now. How could you not want to be a part of what Buffalo has going on at the moment? They're winning games. They're one of the most electric atmospheres in the National Hockey League. It's not like you're going from a big market to a small market here. You're going from a small market to a small market. You won your cup. You had your success. I think you have a legitimate chance to go out there and win another one. That's how strongly I believe in the Buffalo Sabres and what they're doing. Kekalainen has totally shifted the focus in that organization. He put the nail down right away when he got into power. Said, if you don't want to be here, you're out. We're shipping you out. You're not going to be a part of this. We're building something special here. And if you don't want to be a part of it, see ya. You're gone. And I think that mandate has resonated in that locker room. Buffalo Sabres players, it's like someone lit a fire under their ass. It's nuts. It is crazy how well they have played since Kekalainen took over. And right at the end of Kevin Adams' tenure, it seemed to just like that. Crazy. It's crazy what's going on. And they shellacked Tampa Bay the other day. They are right there. They're 2 points behind Tampa Bay for the lead in the Atlantic Division. Carolina has now overtaken the Lightning for the best record in the Eastern Conference. Things are changing here. The landscape has shifted. And if they can get Colton Parayko in exchange for a guy who had nothing to do with the success of this team this year, that's a home run slam dunk. Call it whatever you want to call it. Mrtka might be a great player. And Sabre fans might hate the trade in 5 years, but I guarantee you they won't hate it if they go to a Stanley Cup final this year and if Colton Parayko plays a big role in leading them there. I just don't understand what the reservation is here from Buffalo Sabre fans. I get it that it could be seen as an overpay from the outside looking in. I don't care about any of that crap. I don't care about it at all. Parayko is what this team needs. Robert Thomas is also what this team needs. But it seems a little too rich for their blood and a little too rich for everyone's blood that has been linked in those sweepstakes. So Parayko, my pitch to you, come on, sign on with Buffalo. It just makes sense for you. You have a chance to win a cup. You have a chance to go to another cup final. Do it. Do it. Don't overthink this. The ball's in your court. Give them a chance. They're giving you a chance. They want you. You're their guy. Reward them for that. Reward Jarmo Kekalainen for building something special. And you could have a chance to even further that. You could make this even more special than it already has been for the people of Buffalo who have been starved for a winner for almost 15 years now. Last time they made the playoffs, I was 10 years old. It's a long damn time. 25 years old now. So it's been a while since we've seen Buffalo in the dance, and I think Colton Parayko will help them once they do get to that dance, if he wants to come on board. And he should. Come on, Colton. I'm not a Sabres fan, but it's pretty damn cool what's going on over there, and I'm sure you'd like to be a part of it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, people. That was Answer the Call with Peter Vryonis. Let me know what you think of this rumored trade that Darren Dreger threw out there. Elliot Friedman as well confirmed that they are waiting on Parayko. Nothing yet, but pretty much headed in that direction. And if he does decide to waive his no-trade clause for Buffalo, I think that makes him even more formidable when talking about the Eastern Conference playoff landscape. But hit that sub button. I've appreciated all the support that we've gotten here on previous videos, and I will see you all in the next one. The deadline is just a couple of days away, so stay tuned for Answer the Call coming up next.